This video, we're going to talk about how to properly socialize your dog, all right? The first thing you want to do when you're going to any new places, you want to make sure that your dog gets engaged right away. That means as soon as you take them out of the car, you want to make sure you call their name and make sure that they're staying focused and engaged on your left side. Duke. So immediately what this does is it gets your dog in a working mindset, right? What you don't want to do is let your dog just jump out of the car and pull you towards the building. Okay? So now that we have our dog engaged, now we're ready to walk up to the building, making sure the dog stays engaged while we're walking up to the building. Okay, so your next step is, as you get ready to walk into the door, you want to make sure that your dog doesn't bolt through the door, okay? You want to make sure your dog stays right beside you. If your dog's bolting through the door, they're in the wrong state of mind, okay? So we're going to walk up to the door. You're going to open the door and then reward your dog for staying beside you. Okay? Okay, so your next step is to look for distractions. These are people, it could be noises, but what we're trying to make sure of is that your dog isn't distracted by people. So you're gonna walk up to someone and then immediately walk away. Just to clarify that, hey, just because there's a person there doesn't mean you can't need to listen. So we're gonna walk up to somebody, walk away. When your dog comes back, you're gonna reward with your left hand. I'll do it one more time. We're gonna walk up towards somebody and immediately walk away and reward when they come back. Okay? Your next step is to do some shopping. You're gonna go up to the bookstore. You're gonna pretend like you're shopping. If your dog waits and stays beside you, he gets a reward. Okay? After that, challenge your dog by doing some movement drills. Stepping to the side, turning to the left and place, walking backwards. This is really good to practice because there's going to be certain times when you're socializing your dog and the place is kind of congested, lots of people. You want to make sure your dog can stay right beside you when that happens. After you've done this in one spot, you can go to different spots in the store and try the same drill. Look for distractions, shop, then practice your movement drills. So what not to do. Whenever you come in the store, you don't want to allow your dog just to roam up to anybody, okay? What that does is it gets the dog to think that whenever they see people, they can get disconnected and pull immediately, right? You want your dog to associate that when they're in a new environment, the first behavior is to stay beside you. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to use these movement drills to really challenge your dog, okay? So I want you to pretend like you're walking up towards someone and then possibly do a side step or walk backwards or step side to side to check out the shelves. I'm gonna give you some examples. So let's say you're shopping, you could do side steps. Okay. Let's say you're walking towards someone. You can do a random side step to get out of the way or change your mind. What this does is it keeps your dog staying engaged instead of checking out. Alright, so if you're to the point where your dog's figured out that, hey, you know what, the first behavior is to stay beside you and pay attention, then you can actually start working on your dog receiving affection. But this is the last thing you want to teach your dog. Alright, let me show you how to do that. So the first thing is you want to make sure you're walking your dog up to the person, right? You don't want them dictating when to go to the person. So you can walk your dog up to the person, Stand on one side, and then you can allow your guest to give him affection. That's good. While he's receiving affection, you can give them food for not jumping and staying beside you. If your dog decides to jump, that's when we're going to use the remote, the vibration button, to regain their attention. All right, what not to do. On what not to do, you don't want your dog to dictate when they go up to the person. Meaning you don't want your dog just to run up to them like that. That would be something you don't want to do. Okay? You want to make sure that your dog waits for you to walk them over towards the person. Okay. For one of your last drills, I want you to work on a stationary position. Stationary positions are good for your dog to know that, hey, if you're standing still for a long period of time, that doesn't mean check out and wander off, but it means stay beside you, okay? So find any spot in the store and just stand there for a minute. If this is your first time being at the store, maybe reward them every 10 seconds for staying beside you. If this is your second or third time being at the store, then you can reward them every 30 seconds or wait for the whole entire minute. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find different spots in the store to work the stationary position. Finding a spot where there's lots of traffic, like people coming and exiting, could be a good spot to really challenge your dog's stationary position. On this video, we're going to talk about how to use the e-collar if for whatever reason your dog gets distracted or you need to redirect their attention. So let's start with the door. So with the door, let's say your dog goes to the door before you do. That would be a time where you're going to use the e-collar. Now these are my keys, so just pretend like this is an e-collar. If your dog goes to the door, you're going to tap the vibration button, okay? You have two options. You can tap the vibration button and reset, or you can tap the vibration button and if your dog's advanced, they'll come back to their spot, okay? For your previous lessons, I should have showed you the right setting for the nick. If you look on your remote, you'll have an actual setting for the nick. If you need to use that exact same setting that we went over. Okay, let's bring them inside. So if you're needing to use the vibration during distractions, you're going to walk towards the distraction, and then you're going to tap the vibration button as you walk away. Then reward. Do it again. You're going to walk over towards the distraction, tap the vibration button as you walk away, then reward. Okay? If your dog's very advanced, you can stay still, tap the vibration button, and wait for them to get back in place. Anytime you're working your dog and you see that they're getting distracted, you're going to tap the vibration button to get them back on track. Okay. Let's bring them over here. Same thing for your shopping. If you're shopping and your dog's beside you, give them a reward. If you're shopping and you see your dog getting ready to wander off, use the vibration button to regain their attention. Now we're towards the end of socialization. You're going to make sure you walk out just like you walked in. So you're walking out the door, making sure your dog's not bolting through, but staying beside you. All right, so now that you exit the building, now let's talk about the importance of socialization, okay? So what I want you to remember is that, especially if you have a puppy, you want to go to a new place like Half Price Books, and you want to work here. You want to take about, I would say about 2 to 3 visits, right? Your first visit is always going to be the hardest because the distractions are new, the smells are strong, right? But the second and third time, you see your dog improve every single time. Once they get good at one spot, then what you're going to do is you're going to find another spot, like Lowe's or Half Price Books. And what this does is it really makes you become proactive into going towards distractions versus waiting for the distractions to happen to you. Whenever you have a dog that can focus around any type of distraction, you have a dog that's starting to show you that our desired behaviors are starting to become solidified. All right, have fun socializing your dog.